Yeah, this shit really easy for me. This shit like a gift. I don't take it for granted though. Cut my homie off, he start feeling too entitled. And I'd rather leave it there, but I bet by now he think we rivals. Try to keep it gang, but he went on ahead and made it viral. Now I'm the bad guy, cause I went on ahead and made it final. Ain't no coming back from it once you put them people in the business. Used to call my mom, now she wondering why we distant. Wishing it was different, but I ain't tripping on no friendship. And you probably been on that, but I ain't sensing. Damn. Love and loyalty are blind your senses, but don't be senseless. Get that paper and figure out you put the wrong niggas in position. Hold my brothers in the highest regard. We ain't warned about no bras. Being jealous about no Jews or envious about no cause. I got the ball, then you gon' ball. You thinking different, then you gon' starve. I mean, you can eat, just not with me and none of my dogs. Fuck niggas turned the heat up and niggas playing follow the leader. She fucked everybody, but trying to prove to me that she a keeper. No way. Shit, the plug ain't answer the whole day. A 6 deuce disappeared in the water. Glad I ain't dropped the whole thing. I know what that mean, cause I know he seen his phone ring. But I'ma sell it just like I bought it. Tell them niggas that it's notice. This shit about some money. What I'm on, you can't afford it. You can think you getting over now, but I'ma catch you, can't avoid it. Ain't no cop and no please. You can talk in circles till you dizzy. When I put them hitters on your tizzy, it's a rizzy, no kizzy. It's for real.
Oh man, it's a treat, homeboy. Thanks for having me. For real. Check it. If I ever sold some bad work, I don't buy it back. I told him, put it in a ponytail, nigga, tie it back. We can either do the loud nines or the quiet Mac, but it's a dog-eat-dog world, and that's a quiet fact. It get expensive when that drama get extensive. I bought bigger guns for him, and that's highly recompensive. I was doing this for us when we was out there in them trenches, and my dog was switching sides. He was out there jumping fences, gave another man a sentence. Where the glory go in it? You were supposed to stay solid, how that story go in it? You know the streets gonna be the streets, ain't no tutorial in it. This a Glock 23 with the Oreo in it. It was never hard to peep a sucker. They ain't hard to smell. Move the family way out in the sticks, make it hard to trail. We see who really getting money. It ain't hard to tell. Smurf Blue, pull up with that cat like I'm Gargamel. Before I ever get a call from Mel, I stay sucker free cause they don't deal these kind of cards in jail. They don't give out trophies in the streets, it's only scars and bells. So when I talk it, every other verse you get a bar from hell. Expensive pain. Talk is cheap. Hey, Spizzy. Listen, man. They don't do it like us, kid. You know, these niggas, they come half-ass. You know, we come all the way. Turn up on them, man. Put your foot on these niggas' necks. And don't let up. I'm rooting for you. Park the GT and pull the Maybach truck, I'm on the better things. Park the GT and pull the Maybach truck, I'm on the better things. Cuban came from Izzy, why you niggas copping petty chains? I keep getting richer, so I can't say that I never change. I keep switching foreign, so I can't say that I never range. Up top, I'm like a kingdom, bad bitches safe for me. Supercharge the engine, why that wagon think they chasing me? Man enough to switch up, then you man enough to face the team. Limited edition on my wrist, that's why the face is green. I don't chase the bag, I get the bag, it ain't no space between. Circle here for life, I keep it close just like it's changing green. 50,000 petty paper, Gucci fist was never major. Baltimore, they showed me love, got purple on me like a raven. This life I'm living, gotta see it to believe. Yacht bigger than the ship, full of soldiers like Marines. Best cost me 2,000, gallery all on my jeans. You niggas still playing games, I'm out here trying to play for keeps, let's keep it G. Yeah, let's keep it G. We playing with them niggas, they already know, five. The fuck going on? Yeah. We up top. For real. Fuck them niggas, everything they stand for. Why you frauding like you ain't really a fan, boy? This ain't for kids, told you I'm a grown man, boy. And I really took flights to make it land, boy. Can't afford to lose no money in the mail, so I put that money in his hand and send that package through myself. Just hope my man back home got it too. Cause any fuck shit involved, he responsible. Don't talk to me about a line, I had a line or two. Or maybe 3 or 4 is nothing that I gotta prove. Before you get in my way, ask yourself what you got to lose. Check my resume and ask yourself, could you rock them shoes? It's not a fit, shit different when you ain't got a pick. Niggas pull that homie card about money, but I'm not a Vic. Pull up on you, I wasn't gonna hit you, but you tried to sprint. All that for a bundle with nicks. Niggas ain't got no sense. With my toes 3 days straight, I'm a baby out the trench. Change my white beat and draws just in case I hit a bitch. I ain't that boy that dick ride niggas that get lit. Pay homage when it's due, other than that, eat a dick, I look at life through both sides of the fence. Never judge a nigga, you don't know where he going, where he went. Never count pockets, you don't know what he got, what he spit. Dick riding star players, but Lou average 20 off the bench. Caught that, my youngin' took a charge, he should afford that. And all them niggas that was frontline with you, where them balls at? Worry about them little bitches like you can't get them hoes back. The issue at hand, Dell never part of the plans. But them niggas that get on the stand on you, kid, and you can't afford that. I know you caught that. I know you caught that. Right, nigga, top shit. We outside.
Right. Welcome to another great show. Yeah, Josh, that was Shiesty Spiz and ATM 5 on the last joint. Hold on, let me play the joint back. And on the first one, that was Hollow Man and ATM. No, that was Hollow Man and Shiesty Spiz. East Germantown's finest, as well as Area's finest. Yeah, definitely check out their work. I mean, Hollow Man's a legend. But anyways, today's show was about, soft boy era. A lot of things that, I notice, kept quiet about. And it's funny because same things that you hear, the gripes and the complaints about, what they make about women on here is the same things that they are practitioners as well with, especially with the gaslighting. What's going on, Bunny? What's going on, Shy? Peace, God. You notice a lot of gaslighting, and as of recently, you have the messiness of one character that says, he was doing Ice Turner's dirty work. No. Brother Ab is his own man, and he was addressing, certain people based on their actions. It's one thing when you say, I'm this, or I'm gonna do this for you, and then you turn around and do something different. And that's what you notice a lot of these niggas doing here, is that they change things up. And I noticed that with a lot of them, that's why I keep my distance. I don't ask anyone to do anything for me. Someone says like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for you. All right, whatever. Then they switch up. That's just in them. And it shows in every other area in their life. That's why they have stupid shit like, you got 60-year-old men talking about $1,000 challenge and shit. I notice all my old heads saying some $1,000 challenges and shit. You know what I mean? If I know they got that on their dinner plate. You feel me? I mean, what's really $1,000 when you break it down? I mean, that's what, a Wagyu 85. You got the fried lobster appetizer, 2 a la cartes, and you wash it down with 2 McKellen 18s. It's over $1,000 right there. What are you really talking about? But then the other thing is when you say, yeah, if me or anyone that's affiliated with me, if we say something, we're hating. But if you do it, it's just roasting or it's jokes or whatever like that. Right? What you basically have is a bunch of, males, female identified in many ways, don't realize it. And I don't mean females as far as women. I'm talking about females in regards to being flea males. It's being bitch ass niggas. And that's why you really have in this space is a bunch of bitch ass niggas. And that's why you got to fly overseas and, and deal with, people from, third worlds. Instead of really looking at the instead of looking into the mirror and looking at yourself and seeing, there's some type of misalignment, instead of really looking in the mirror and seeing, why are you demanding things? Usually when you demand something, it means you don't deserve it. You never get what you demand. You get what you command. And what you command is based on your character. It's based on how you carry yourself as a man. Now, what you basically say with the soft boy era, you got guys that want traditional women, but yet want to be modern. And what is being modern? When you're going, 50-50 on bills or 50-50 on anything. But you expect to basically call the shots. And you guys don't necessarily want to lead women. You want to basically control them sexually. You want to control them to where as though you can have sex when you want, minimum effort. You want to control their attitudes and moods, whatever like that, so they can't really be disgusted by certain things you put out there, especially when you lie and when you're being disingenuous. You don't want them to call you out on your shit. The one thing that I do know that what a lot of guys fail to realize, that's why I say going back to the command aspect, is that, women, any women that, that deal with you intimately, know you intimately. They know all your fears. They know your insecurities. They know your blind spots. You gotta understand, women think with both sides of their brains, right? The left and right spatula. They're picking up on things. You're thinking, with one brain. And it's not, the one in, in your head. It's the one in your pants. You're basically being led by your phallus. You're led by the possibility of getting pussy. That's why a lot of men are broke, because they're being led by their dicks. But then turn around and blame women for all their problems. It's a famous song, I got 99 problems, but a chick ain't one. It shouldn't be. You got 99 other problems. You have responsibilities. But, in this space, what are their problems? Female behavior. It's like that song, these hoes be acting up, but y'all be letting them. Y'all allow them to do that, not by what you say, but what you do and how you carry it. 90% of the situation is, their actions. 10% of it is your response to their actions. The opposite of what the soft boy is, he's a calm, a calm storm, a calm factor. I'm not spending my time correcting women about behaviors or whatever the case may be, because if they act out, they'll know by my silence, something is wrong. And if they keep doing it, they'll know by my distance. It's a wrap. I'm all wrapped out. Remember I said before, it's your command. Then you have this conversation about, can you date American women? I'm done with American women. And you have guys that are issuing their complaints, but based on their thirst, they're getting rejected by their thirst and not really understanding when they've got ghost. See, you got the one guy say, this is why you get your passports. Now, I have my passport and I also have dual citizenship. Just to clear that up. Okay. He's talking about getting your passport based on him meeting a girl, and she said, he's handsome, but instead of looking in the mirror and blaming himself because he's like, he was trying to get up with her right away. Yes, let's get together. Da, 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 here's a number. Da, da, da. So she flaked him off. Said, "Oh, I lost my pass card, whatever like that, and my key." So he's like, "Yeah, I'll come pick you up." Da, da, da. She could see by the thirst, that he didn't have anything going on. So she's basically being nice. It was based on his conversation after the introduction. Now she said, "Yeah, you're handsome and stuff like that," but his conversation wasn't. And she canceled on him. And she did it in a nice way by coming up with an excuse. But she was, being, I would say, ladylike about it, because, in the Northeast, they're going to tell you why, they don't want to, deal with you. And, just in case you weren't asking, they'll let you know. That's a reflection. And as I said before, money and women are only attracted to masculinity. And if you're lacking those, then, there lies the problem. You don't need a mouthpiece, right? But you do need a personality. You do need a stalwart, being, right? And that determines what you say out your mouth, and what you don't say out your mouth, and what you do and what you don't do. And that's when a woman is actually dealing with an individual. A man is actually an individual. A man is someone that can, stand on his own 10 toes, and it's not begging. It's not borrowing. It's not leeching, not mooching off other people. And, what you're doing online is what you do in real life, especially when your sub, count starts to drop. You go and leech off other people's channels and shit, hop on their shit, and you was just talking about them. Saying unsavory things, but then you're on there, cocky. Then you're using your platform to try to, lure women into, emailing you. Shoot your shot there. I mean, if you're shooting your shot at, women on YouTube, then you really ain't got nothing going on. I'm not saying that there's, women on here that don't look like anything. I mean, there's some on here that look like something, but there's women that look like something where I'm at, and that area of my life is definitely taken care of, if anything else. That's not presenting, masculine behavior. That's soft boy behavior. A man is not thirsty. I've always said that. Man is not anxious for anything. Over eager. He said, "You my elder." He said, "I told you about still throwing shade. My oldest cousin." Yeah, they're going to do that, man. But, you just got to move smooth, man. I mean, you're into, bigger and better things. I mean, you got your new spot, your new will, man. Of course they're going to hate, man. That's the thing about, all the black men, if you have a little bit more than them, they'll hate on you. Or if you're trailing them, they'll hate on you. That's dry hating. To where as though, it's not so much the stuff, it's the stuff that you're made out of that they despise. See, they see you better than you see you. That's what the problem is. They see you better than you see you. So why doubt, yourself? All that brotherhood talk is just an illusion, and you usually got the brokest, dustiest Negroes that say all that stuff like, yeah, let's come together, let's build. No. You know, that whole, fake, let's go back to Africa talk or whatever. A man, you know, is a generator, operator, and destroyer. That means you generate, your own income, you operate with it, and you destroy what is, unnecessary in your life. You know, all aspects of foolishness, all aspects of foolish conversations and foolish interactions. If you can't take care of yourself as a man, you're not a man. You can't, demand anything from anybody. You shouldn't be demanding anything from anybody. How can you, ask for certain requirements from a woman when you can't even take care of yourself? And what I mean by taking care of yourself is not saying that, you struggle, whatever like that. Yeah, you could be, struggling and paying the bills, but the thing is you're maintaining those bills. I'm not saying you to be the richest, man in the world, but are you basically taking care of yourself at least? Because when you put yourself in that position, you say, okay, I want, a woman in my life. That means you can take care of yourself and you can oversee, her life. You can preside over her life. When a woman looks at you, right, she looks for an opportunity to be rescued. You see it all the time. I see it when I go to Target. I see it when I go to Whole Foods, Mom's Organic, shopping, or getting my car washed or whatever the case, or even at the bank. When they look at you, they smile and they talk with you. Yeah, it's being friendly, but it's like, can you get me out of the situation? That's what they're essentially saying when you hear, the complaints, because, in a lot of ways, women, they don't mind being, interdependent. That's what you're not really understanding in the communication. It's not they're saying that they're independent. They don't mind being interdependent. They want to basically, have their own, but they'd rather build, and make a bigger pie, They said you got to make a certain amount or whatever like that. That's just window dressing, man. And you guys are getting butthurt about that. They said you got to make this a year or whatever the case may be. They're not saying you got to spend that. They said you got to make this. Those numbers are really light. That's how you really should be looking at it. Those numbers are really light. Because I'll put it like this: when you have money, women don't want your money; they want your time, because that's something you don't have. But when you don't have money, they want your money, because they know it's something you don't have. Essentially, they just want to have something to talk about, right? Either good or bad. You don't understand the reason for things, like, the reason for you being in her life is, for her to, to check her girlfriends, to keep them in line, and to basically, show who's the queen bee of the clique. Yeah, my man does this. My man, does that. My man is this. We went here and we did this and we did that. Yeah, those are the conversations that are never really discussed on here. And I know that just off of personal experience. All of my girlfriends, they had that, privilege to say that, oh yeah, I'm at Crazy Hand, twice a month. I'm getting facials, getting manicures, pedis, while I'm at the shops. I don't have to worry about, things falling apart in my car. It's covered. But the part that's not really communicated is that I showed them how to, invest. I'm trading now, haven't really taught one how to actually trade yet. But, I teach them how to make their own. It's not how much you make, is what you do, what you have to make more. With us, software era, you don't think in generations. You don't think in decades. You don't think in the future. It's not delayed gratification. It's instant gratification. You want to be lit right now. You want it right now. You don't want to work for it. The only shortcut in life is the long cut. And that's what, the soft boy, the modern Negro doesn't understand and why he can't get ahead. He said, and thank you for how do you carry lessons, because that's another thing. How I'm carrying it makes people intimidated that ain't doing the work. Exactly, man. And they're going to be intimidated. They're going to not only be intimidated, they're going to be infuriated with you. And they're going to try to wipe you out and get you out the way. But you can't get out the way, man. Because your presence is your message. So even if you basically fall off the map or go do something else, or, just be out of the way, your presence will always be there, because your message will always be there. It'll always linger in their mind. It'll always remind them that they're hosts. That's the reality of it. When you look at myrrh, it's bittersweet. It's kind of like had Jesus, right? Because it's bitter, going through the growing pangs of being a man and finding out what a man is and what a man does. But it's sweet when that bitterness has maturated into something timeless, and holy and true, and respectable. Being a man of respect, it's not something you demand, it's something that you command. That being liked thing will get you killed. And that's part of the software, they want everyone to like them. They want everyone to understand them. A man will never be understood, right? A man's only understood by those that are closest to him. And everyone that understands me is close to me. Everyone else is only just projecting their weaknesses. They're clothing me with their ideologies, their philosophies, or whatever like that. They're introverted, BS. You can't find, anybody on this planet that says, I owe them anything. I owe them any type of money. Can't find anybody on this planet that said I've ever leached off of them. Can't find anybody on this planet that said I ever begged for anything. You can't. I didn't want to become a man because of bragging rights. I became a man because that is something that I was born, See, we're all born males, but 90% of us don't become men. We just become soft boys, pissing, whining, complaining, become spineless, nutless, gutless, passive aggressive coochies. So I'm working on my language because, I have to, you know, a little rough around the edges, a little raw, a little rugged, but still yet smooth. And as I said before, you have to give women a reason to do anything. For us, it's just location. For them, it's a reason. Now, you want to talk about this game? Game is about reason, not reasoning. A reason to do this for you. A reason to be this for you. What reason are you giving a woman? And usually women, acquiesce to a man that knows what he's talking about, knows where he's going, knows who he is, knows what isn't flying with him. And he doesn't have to communicate that. She can feel in her spirit that you ain't the one. We can have fun. We can chillax, we can create fine memories together. You're the water on the boat. Make sure that water is steady and calm, and this boat will go where it's supposed to go. So go as far as you want it to go. It's totally up to you. That's what you're in control of. You're in control of you. You're not in control of a woman. And I've said it before. You don't control women. You don't control people. That's weakness and insecurity. You don't control women. You influence them. As I said before, you don't correct. You guide. People's, they switch their whole language. They trying to be my, my twin spirit, trying to act. They got this whole fucking, excuse my language. I'm sorry, man. I'm probably gonna get, whatever. They got this whole thing where they're trying to sound like me, but just change the words, direct. You look and sound like somebody that's never directed anything in your life. You got white people telling you what to do at your job. You got people that you're living with tell you what to do. You look like somebody that, is always being told what to do. And you got to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. You don't look like somebody that has guided or has led anything. Ever. So, what you're saying is errant. It doesn't have no commanding power behind it. When I talk, it's power. You can hear it. You can feel the anointing. You can feel the dexterity of what I'm talking about. You can feel the strength. You can feel the experience of what I'm talking about. So I touched this woman the other day. We were talking, flirty, whatever like that. And, she said, the way you, touch my arm is like you're a man with experience. And this is an older woman. A woman in her 30s. Is his mic still on? Okay. Masterly and noble. Exactly. I don't get into the naysayers, man. People want to change everything, Don't listen to what people, project. Like, the only opinions that I respect, the only opinions that I actually acknowledge are those that from men that I can respect. If I don't respect you, then there's nothing you can actually say to me. Just because I talk about it. I'm an air sign. My birthday was a couple of days ago, and I'm cardinal air. So, with cardinal air is that, there's already ready-made thoughts, ready-made ideas, already ready-made conclusions, ready-made perspective. It means in order for it to be ready-made, it had to been developed that have been sealed and dealed, goofball. That means I'm already me, while you're still trying to figure yourself out. I was already me. That's the conclusion of that. What's going on, honey? Long time no see. You know, then I got other things, but when I talk about, astrology, this is the base level of things when you get into the whole planetary things, right? But the objective is to supersede that, to ascend beyond that, because I'm actually beyond my sign, in regards to the hang-ups, or even the plus sides. This is the mind that you should have in yourself, and not to be, a part of this soft boy era, this generation of coochies, this generation of jellyfish, you know. A man takes care of business. A man is what a man does. A man attracts what he attracts based on how he is and what he is, as well as what he does. If a woman doesn't see your values because you don't have any value, not that they're not blind, they don't see you. When you look at the basis of things, right? The very basics, right? Where men are providers, protectors, where women are nurturers and supporters. What can they nurture and support if you don't have something that has been provided for and protect? And provision is more than just financial. It's vision, perspective, hope, love, strength, endurance, assurance, direction, insight, fortitude. What is she nurturing and supporting if you don't have those? She's supposed to nurture and support excuses, complaints. Remember I said before, women need a reason. That's innate. All women are nurturers and supporters. I don't care how hard they come off. That's exterior. I care about the barking. I care what they say outside. In their heart of hearts, they're nurturers and supporters. Just like in your heart of heart, you're a provider and a protector. But you're scared. Just like they're scared. You're scared in a passive way. They're scared in an overt way. That barking is fear. Because they feel like you ain't really got it, under control. So they're barking at you. You're barking at them because you don't have it under control and they see you. And you live in this soft boy life, this soft boy reality that you hate. Don't put yourself in a situation that it's going to cause you to be stressed out later on. And don't put, a person in a position that's going to cause you to be stressed out later on. It's just common sense. What kind of man are you? Are you a man that's made of steel? Or are you a man that's made of, the things that you find in a teddy bear? Are you gooey? Or are you real? Because if you're real, you're not, pissing and moaning about, a female's behavior. Like I said before, I've had some rotten apples, but I tossed it. And there's no more of a conversation about that. Not a conversation out loud. I'm talking about a conversation in my mind about it. Okay? A lot of the times, it's not the conversation that's said out of your mouth; it's the conversation that you have in your mind. It's still about the situation. Let it go. Let it breathe. Let it be. What kind of man are you? At the end of the day, a man leaves his mark. So they like to say that the imprint thing. That's off of that Twilight movie. Shot the reel that actually gave me that jewel. Where do you guys get this from? The imprints from a freaking Disney movie they're talking about. I'm talking about a mark. That means, the habits that they learned from you, they're still doing. The things that they learned, they're still, doing. But anyways, blessings and peace.